One of the remarkable things about music is that it gives us the ability to step outside of ourselves for a while, to escape from our normal lives. And nature does this also. When we come to a beautiful place like this, it is partly the sound of water over rock, the sound of birdsong, the sound of wind in the trees that we enjoy so much. But is there a closer connection between music and nature?
You're in the country and you, 3 miles away there's a dog barking. Oh, there's some sheep coming up 2 mountains away. I can't see them, but I can hear them. I can hear the cowbell tinkling. There's a storm coming over 2 valleys from now, and from far away, but yes, it's growing closer. All sorts of composers have suggested these kinds of effects in their music, not just because it was fun to do so, but because it recognized that we have a need in ourselves to experience this vast space. It comforts us.
But perhaps there's more to it than that. Bernie Krause is a musician who spent many years recording the sounds of nature. He's been trying to find out if any sort of pattern emerges naturally, and what, if anything, this has to do with man's impulse to make music.
What I've discovered over the years is that, more and more, is that natural sounds seem to be a kind of natural orchestration, where all the birds sing in one niche, and all the frogs sing in another niche, and all the insects sing in yet another, just like instruments in an orchestra.
But the animals themselves don't make music, do they?
Well, I'm not so sure. Now, for instance, when you go into any environment and actually record the sounds of any environment, like a rainforest, for instance, and you look at the patterns are very clearly defined, very much like the if you take an orchestral score and take a sample of the orchestral score and look at it on a spectrogram, for instance, it looks like it's very clearly defined. All the instruments have their place, just like the animals in an environment have their place in the animal orchestra.
I've always been pretty convinced that humans are unique when it comes to making music. Because it takes such a high degree of intelligence and organization, it seems to me we're the only animals capable of doing it. Bernie Krause has a more open mind.
I've got something that's really special. Listen to this.
That's a neat rhythm. Is it some guy in the forest tapping away at something?
It's a tree.
How do you mean it's a tree?
It's a tree. After a long period of time when there's no water, like a drought, and all of a sudden there's a downpour, the water begins to move up and down the trunk of the tree as the tree begins to absorb it. And as it does so, the dry cells that make up the trunk begin to expand very quickly, and sometimes they explode. And when enough of them explode, when there's enough water, it puts out a very high-pitched tone. And that causes that kind of rhythm, which of course was slowed up quite a bit so that you could hear it.
It's amazing. I mean, it is such a great rhythm.
It is that.
Makes you want to dance.
Yeah, exactly right.
Michael Jackson could use that.
He probably would if he could.
You see, now you've played with the tree.
That's extraordinary. What a beautiful sound that is. Water and wood and nature, yeah. Beautiful, stunning.